Hey everyone, welcome to another video. The November books for Book of the Month just dropped a little earlier than I expected, but let's go through them. So it seems there's 5 hardcover selections. So the first one is An Academic Affair by Jodi McAllister. It's a romance. In this rivals to romance novel, office hours get steamy when faculty foes get married to advance their careers. Hmm. Multiple viewpoints, book about books, love that. Salacious and Marriage of Convenience. I do kind of like Marriage of Convenience. I don't know how it's going to advance their careers to get married, though. Sadie Shaw and Jonah Fisher have been academic rivals since they first crossed paths as undergraduates in the literature department 13 years ago. Now that a highly coveted teaching opportunity has come up, their rivalry hits epic proportions. Jonah needs the job to move closer to his recently divorced sister and her children, while Sadie needs the financial security and freedom of a full-time teaching position. When Sadie notices that the job offers partner hire, however, she hatches a plot to get them both the job. All they must do is get legally married. It's a simple win-win solution, but when sparks begin to fly, it becomes clear that despite their education, these two may not have thought this whole thing through. I kind of like that. That's interesting that it offers partner hire. I haven't really heard of that. No fiction or no content warnings. I don't know. That might be interesting. I haven't read a romance in a while. Next one is Cursed Daughters by Oyinkan Braithwaite, contemporary fiction. A multi-generational story about a family destined for heartbreak and the ways our lineages can and can't define us. Family drama, forbidden love, non-linear timeline, and international. I don't always like the family drama. I don't really read a lot of that, but let's see the synopsis. When Eben gives birth to her daughter Iniyi on the day they bury her cousin Monif, there is no denying the startling resemblance between the child and the dead woman. So begins the belief, fostered and fanned by the entire family, that Iniyi is the actual reincarnation of Monif, fated to follow in her footsteps in all ways, including that tragic end. Oh. There's also the matter of the family curse. No man will call your house his home, and if they try, they will not have peace, which has been handed down from generation to generation, breaking hearts and causing 3 generations of abandoned Falodan women to live under the same roof. When Anii falls in love with the handsome boy she saves from drowning, she can no longer run from her family's history. As several women in her family have done before, she ill-advisedly seeks answers in older, darker spiritual corners of Lagos, demanding solutions. Is she destined to live out the habitual story of love and heartbreak? Or can she break the pattern once and for all, not only avoiding the spiral that led Monif to her lonely death, but liberating herself from all the family secrets and unspoken traumas that have dogged her steps since before she could remember? Cursed Daughters is a brilliant cocktail of modernity and superstition, vibrant humor and hard-won wisdom, romantic love and familiar obligation. With its unforgettable cast of characters, it asks us what it means to be given a second chance and how to live both wisely and well with what we've been given. It does have content warnings. It contains mentions of suicide and the death of a child. I don't know, that sounds really interesting, like to break generational trauma, like to be the one that breaks that cycle. I might get that actually. Next one is Her One Regret by Donna Freitas, mystery. It kind of doesn't look like a mystery from the cover. It looks more contemporary, but a mother missing, a baby abandoned, a tense mystery about what can happen when societal pressures snap. Multiple viewpoints, family or female friendships, mama drama, and slow build. When successful Rhode Island real estate agent Lucy Mendoza vanishes, leaving her baby behind in a grocery store parking lot, the news quickly makes national headlines. Lucy's best friend, Michelle, is devastated and terrified that Lucy's life is at stake. But she knows something that could complicate the police investigation. Lucy had confessed something unspeakable. She regretted becoming a mother so much that she'd fantasized about faking her own kidnapping. If the police and media were to find out, Lucy would become a monster in public opinion. Michelle is sure Lucy would never abandon her daughter. But could she be wrong? Could Lucy have been so desperate she chose to escape her life? Donna Freitas has drawn from groundbreaking research to bring readers this unforgettable novel. Her one regret is at once a pulse-pounding feminist thriller, a moving depiction of the realities of motherhood, and a rich exploration of a subject our culture and society have rendered nearly verboten. The possibility that for some women, motherhood is an unfixable mistake. Does contain mentions of the death of a child. That sounds really interesting too, actually. Like, motherhood is definitely not for everyone, I think. And there probably are some moms who have had babies and kind of miss their life, like, before the baby. But to fake, like, a kidnapping for it, that seems interesting. I can't get all the books, though, so I'm gonna have to pick one, but next is Light Breakers by Aya Gable, speculative fiction. This moving story about experimental time travel asks, can revisiting our past heartbreak risk the love in our present? Love time travel too. Man, this is gonna be hard. Emotional, cerebral, multiple viewpoints, and infidelity. Ooh. Well, I guess you go back in time to have a relationship with a past one. That's the infidelity, maybe. I don't really like cerebral necessarily. Maya, an artist, and Noah, a quantum physicist, share an insatiable curiosity about the world, but their happy marriage has a shadow over it. Serena, the child Noah had with his first wife, who died before she turned 4. When Noah is invited by the Janus Project to unravel the secrets of time travel, he jumps at the opportunity. At a laboratory deep in the Texas desert, he begins participating in a dangerous experiment that could result in something he thought impossible: seeing his daughter again. Meanwhile, Maya embarks on a journey back to her own past in Japan, into a formative lover who once shattered her heart. As Noah and Maya grapple with hope and despair, new information emerges that the experiments might not be exactly what they seem. A heart-achingly moving novel, Lightbreakers plumbs the mysteries of human connection and explores how to love in a world where time is both a healer and a thief. So, does Maya also time travel, or she just goes to Japan to meet with her former lover again? Oh, there are content warnings. Also depicts this death of a child. Yes, that makes sense because his child died before she turned 4. That would be really hard. But it doesn't seem like if he's going back to see his daughter, I mean, that's like a love, but that's not a like romantic relationship. Maybe Maya's the one that has infidelity. I don't know, it seems interesting. Love time travel too, so. Last option is Violet Thistleway is not a villain anymore, which is fantasy. I do like this cover a lot. Looks cozy. It's by Emily Krimpfoltz, and it's a debut. A cozy story about what happens when a villain retires. Think magic plants, grumpy sunshine romance, and lots of charm. So it is cozy. I don't always like cozy because it seems kind of boring sometimes, but maybe this isn't. I do like grumpy sunshine trope. Multiple viewpoints, romanticy, salacious and cozy. Salacious and cozy seems like they don't really go together, but Thy Shadowfade is dead, and after a lifetime as the Dark Sorcerer's right hand, Violet Thistleway is determined to start over, not as the fearsome Thorn Witch, but as someone kind, someone better, someone good. The quaint town of Dragon's Rest, Violet decides, will be her second chance. She'll set down roots, open a flower shop, keep her sentient, mildly homicidal houseplant in check, and prune dark magic from the twisted bows of her life. Violet's vibrant bouquets and cheerful enchantments soon charm the welcoming townsfolk, though nothing seems to impress the prickly yet dashingly handsome Nathaniel Marsh, an alchemist sharing her greenhouse. With a struggling business and his own second chance seemingly out of reach, Nathaniel has no time for flowers or frippery, and certainly none for the intriguing witch next door. When a mysterious blight endangers every living plant in Dragon's Rest, Violet and Nathaniel must work together through their fears, past, and growing feelings for one another to save their community. But with a figure from her previous life knocking at her door and her secrets threatening to uproot everything she's worked so hard to grow, Violet can't help but wonder, does a former villain truly deserve a happily ever after? No content warnings. I don't know. I don't get why the grumpy sunshine, like grumpy has to be the guy. It's every time I've seen it, the grumpy one is the guy, and I would like it to be reversed. I feel like since she used to be a villain, maybe she should be the grumpy one, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to write a book where the woman is grumpy, but um I don't know if I'll get that. Like I said, cozy sometimes seems a little boring to me. Plus, I really liked the four other ones, so I might not get that one, but let's check the add-ons. New add-ons. Looks like it's just three this time. So the first one is The Everlasting by Alex E. Haro. It's a fantasy. A shell-shocked historian and a medieval knight become inexplicably involved, transcending time, mythology, and love. Multiple viewpoints, slow build, salacious, and puzzle. What's the puzzle part? Sir Una Everlasting was Dominion's greatest hero, the orphaned girl who became a knight, who died for queen and country. Her legend lives on in songs and stories, in children's books and recruiting posters, but her life as it truly happened has been forgotten. Centuries later, Owen Mallory, failed soldier, struggling scholar, falls in love with the tale of Una Everlasting. Her story takes him to war, to the archives, and then into the past itself. Una and Owen are tangled together in time, bound to retell the same story over and over again, no matter what it costs. But that story always ends the same way. If they want to rewrite Una's legend, if they want to tell a different story, they'll have to rewrite history itself. It does have content warnings. It says it depicts suicidal ideation and mentions of miscarriage. I don't know. I do like that the future guy is a guy. When I first read the quick take, I was thinking the historian would be a woman and she goes back in time. I guess because it says knight, then you think that's a guy. But I do like that the knight is a woman and the scholar is a man. That seems interesting. I don't know if I'll get that though. Next one is a thriller, Where He Left Me by Nicole Bart. When her husband disappears in the midst of a snowstorm, a woman looks for answers by delving into his buried past. Psychological, nonlinear timeline, slow build, and unsettling. Ooh. In every world, I'd find you. Sadie Sheridan's new husband, Felix, a professor of planetary sciences, has vowed to never leave her. But when Felix doesn't return from a work trip, Sadie is stranded at Hemlock House, the remote mountain homestead where her husband grew up. Doubt creeps into Sadie's heart, then panic. Where is he? Scared and alone in a place that feels haunted, Sadie struggles to make sense of what her missing husband left behind. But when she catches strangers lurking around the property, Hemlock House instantly becomes both a sanctuary and a prison. Navigating threats from outside and in, Sadie is forced to confront shocking secrets that leave her questioning whether she really knows Felix at all. As a powerful storm bears down, she must decide. Is she fighting only for her own survival now, or for the man who promised her the stars? No content warning, surprisingly. Are there other books by her? Everything We Didn't Say. I haven't read that. This sounds interesting, but I think I'd probably get it from my library. The last one is also a thriller, 59 Minutes by Holly Seddon. With 1 hour to spare before a missile hits London, 3 women are forced to fight for what they care about most. Fast read, LGBTQ plus themes, multiple viewpoints, and unsettling as well. How do they know a missile is going to hit London in an hour? Oh, wow. Nuclear missile threat to South England. 59 minutes until impact. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a test. Can they really send those kinds of messages to everyone? Carrie is a young mother desperate to reunite with her daughter. Frankly, newly pregnant, faces a romantic vacation that takes a terrifying turn. Then there's the enigmatic older woman determined to protect her teenage daughter, Bunny, no matter what. Across South England, these 3 women must navigate survival amidst chaos when the country receives a nuclear bomb alert. With only 59 minutes before mass destruction, will they make it to their loved ones in time? That sounds really interesting, actually. I kind of want that. Why would a nuclear strike South England? What's in South England? But it does contain mentions of sexual assault. I don't know. Fast read too? I might get that. Kind of reminds me of Tilt, where there's like the big one in Portland, Oregon, like earthquake, and this pregnant woman who's like basically 9 months pregnant, like ready to have her baby at any moment. She has to walk from like IKEA to downtown Portland, and it's like her story of all the destruction and her surviving. That's kind of sounds like that. I might add that one. For my main pick, I'm kind of interested in Cursed Daughters the most, I think, or Light Breakers, but I don't really like that there's infidelity. And I like in Cursed Daughters the idea of like breaking generational trauma. So I'll probably go for that one and maybe add the other ones to like my library list. But let me know what you're picking for November book of the month, if you're picking anything or if you're skipping. And I will talk to everyone next month or sooner if I do a video between now and then. But hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving and a good November.